Easily in behind there, straight from the goal kick. Hoofed upfield by Jordan Pickford. He's already got an assist to his name this season, the Everton goalkeeper. He almost had number 2 there. Anthony Gordon's half volley was struck powerfully. It was a tremendous block by Robinson. Mentioned the battle between Robinson and Gordon just a minute ago. Everton look to take this corner. Out swinging into the danger area. Calvert-Lewin jumps up, but it's dealt with by Fulham. Here come Everton again though. Mikalenko in loads of space on the left flank. Crosses in low, all the way through to Demarai Gray. Shooting opportunity for Everton. It's a good save by Bernd Leno. Everton knocking on the door early on at Craven Cottage. Demarai Gray had tons of space as the ball just trickled out to him inside the box. It was a slightly narrow angle. It was struck powerfully by the winger, but Leno be glad to have made the save. It's going to be another Everton corner, a repeat of the one just a few seconds ago. In it comes, towards Cody, headed back into the danger area, and Fulham deal with the danger for now at least, as the Toffees go back towards Jordan Pickford. Both sides a small breather here, but Pickford goes straight back upfield. That long 60-yard breaking pass aimed towards Demarai Gray. Just overshot it somewhat, and that's gone straight out for a Fulham throw, deep inside their own half. So one of the prominent storylines in this encounter is, of course, Marco Silva, Fulham boss. His time with Everton came to an end almost 3 years ago now. He would, of course, love to get one over on his former employers. This is the first time he's ever faced them. Or I should say, this is the first time he's faced them since he was sacked by them as a manager. He did take an extended period out of football management after he was sacked by the Toffees. Waited for the right position to come along. Indeed, he made a big splash in the Championship with Fulham last season. Won to the title, and they're back in the Premier League, more than holding their own. Here's Tim Reed for the home side. Back to Bernd Leno, who surveys the options ahead of him. Mitrovic able to chest it down in acres of space. Nobody in that yellow of Everton really putting the Serbian striker under pressure. Here's Anthony Robinson. Fulham well advanced on the left-hand side with Naskins Cabana. Looks to get the cross in into the danger area. Willian turns and shoots, and what a fantastic save by Jordan Pickford. Everton off the hook, courtesy of their goalkeeper. What a tremendous reaction save. The England number 1. Willian all of a sudden found the ball at his feet in the box. All of 8 yards out. He sent the ball flying towards the top corner. What a reflex save by Pickford. The goalkeeper gives it a fist pump for good measure. It's going to be a Fulham corner. Whipped in by Pereira. Into the danger area. Headed towards goal. It's another fantastic save by Jordan Pickford. That's 2 in a row from the Everton goalkeeper. Each one as eye-catching as the last. It was Mitrovic who went up for the header. Sent looping towards the top corner. And yet again, Pickford flying through the air to get a hand on it at full stretch. It's another Fulham corner. In it goes towards the near post, flicked on. And it's going to be yet another corner for the hosts. Everton under cosh here. The Toffees didn't make a good start to the game. It's been very much an end-to-end encounter in South West London. Fulham with the corner. This time it's taken short to William. Isolates Damari Gray. Brazilian fancies his chances. Onto the edge of the box. Harrison Reed with the shooting chance. And he's tipped over the top by Pickford. That's 3 saves in a matter of no more than 90 seconds for the Everton stopper. This one not quite as eye-catching as the former 2. It's going to be another Fulham corner. Andreas Pereira has taken all 4 this time. It's going to be an outswinger from the right-hand side. In it goes. This one goes deep towards Mitrovic. And this time Everton do manage to clear their lines. Fulham come again. Pinball in the middle of the park. Out it goes towards William. Andreas Pereira closed down by Damari Gray. It's going to be a Fulham throw-in. Just 10 yards more advanced than the halfway line. Bobby Reed to take it on the right-hand side. The right back, so versatile. Born in Bristol, a product of the Bristol City Academy. Can be seen playing off the striker on the right wing. Today he plays at right back. Very versatile utility player. Features regularly under Marco Silva. Here's Naskins Cabana as Fulham nick the ball. Anthony Robinson goes for the early cross. It's well blocked by Seamus Coleman, but it's going to be another Fulham corner kick. 11 minutes on the clock at Craven Cottage. It's still Fulham 0, Everton 0, but that could change at any moment. Pereira to take it, in swinger, the left flank. In it comes, in towards the near post, flicked on, just about dealt with by Calvert-Lewin. Tim Ream picks up the ball on the edge of the box. Crossed in, but it finds no Fulham teammate. And Everton just about clear the ball away with Alex Iwobi. Everton struggling to find their feet in the last few minutes. And the ball over the top has allowed Iwobi to give chase. Anthony Robinson tries to clear, but he's put it out for an Everton throw-in. All of a sudden, the play has shifted. Everton with possession, but made some good ground in towards the Fulham half. So, for the short term at least, Everton appears to have weathered the storm. It was a violent storm. Fulham with a couple of really good chances. Pickford had to be at his very best to keep the score at 0-0, to keep his clean sheet intact, of course. Naskins Cabana with a really poor control and trickles under his foot for an Everton throw. So there does tend to be a winner when these two sides meet. Of course, the meetings haven't been especially frequent of late. Fulham have been up and down from the Championship and the Premier League. But there has been a winner in the last 8 meetings. Draws 2012, of course, a decade ago now. But it is still 0-0. This pattern of play in the opening 13 minutes does suggest that there'll be goals in this game. Here's Tim Ream under pressure. Dominic Calvert-Lewin trying to close down from the front. The ball upfield is intercepted by the Toffees. Here's Tarkowski. Mikalenko back to Conor Cody now. A calm, sustained period of possession for Frank Lampard's side. Now Onana, yet to get into the game, the summer signing Onana. A talented midfielder, a physical presence, 6'5" tall. We've seen what he can do in flashes, yet to impose himself against the Cottagers. Palmer's Idrissa Gueye this evening. Here's Seamus Coleman. Everton with possession but failing to really advance the ball forwards. Had some joy with balls in behind since the channels in the early stage of this game. And indeed, Tarkowski does opt to go long towards Calvert-Lewin and Damari Gray. A scrap for the ball, Anthony Robinson comes out best. And Fulham goalkeeper Bernd Leno gathers the ball gratefully. Bernd Leno did start the season as Fulham's number 2. He had to be patient to oust Marek Rodak from between the sticks. He's got great pedigree, Leno. £8 million signing from Arsenal in the summer. Felt like he had to move on after dropping behind Aaron Ramsdale in the pecking order. He has been solid for the Cottagers. Full Germany international, of course. Here's Willian now. Fulham well advanced again. Looking towards the referee, but Willian plays on the left-hand side. Creeping towards the box. Uses Anthony Robinson, but he puts the ball out of play with Mitrovic slumped down on the turf. He looks hurt here, the Fulham striker. There will be some concern for Marco Silva and his staff. So crucial is Mitrovic to Fulham's success this season. Well amongst the goals. 28-year-old frontman. He's still on the turf. He doesn't appear to be getting up anytime soon. 9 Premier League goals. He's the 3rd top scorer in the Premier League this season. Mitrovic behind only Harry Kane on 10. But Erling Haaland, who of course is way ahead on 17. Better minutes per goal than Harry Kane, Mitrovic, this campaign. He's had to live with some doubts over whether he can cut it at Premier League level. So many have put him in the category whereby he's too good for the Championship, not quite come up with the goods in the Premier League. He's of course proving those doubters wrong so far this season. And he was absolutely on fire in 2021-22. 43 goals in the Championship, 14 more than his nearest challenger. Absolutely obliterated the Championship goals record. Play back underway at Craven Cottage. It's Issa Diop who passes across the back line to Tim Green. Here's Diop again. Everton slowly applying pressure from the front. Calvert-Lewin and Iwobi, the 2 more advanced players in the central areas at least. As Green looks wide left towards Anthony Robinson. Robinson skips around the challenger Morgan. The play has slowed down notably in the last few minutes. Of course, the frantic pace at which this game started not sustainable, but Bobby Reid now races forward, looks to get the cross in. It's well blocked by Mikolenko. It's going to be a Fulham throw-in adjacent to the Everton box, and it's taken quickly. Looking for Harrison Reid, but it's good defending by Onana. That's going to be an Everton goal kick. So they are a more settled side these days, Everton. Frank Lampard naming an unchanged 11 from the 3-0 win over Crystal Palace last weekend. It's a testament to that. They have got defensive injuries, but not too many complaints over the back four they put out this evening. Cody and Tarkowski, something of a revelation on Merseyside. Here's Calvert-Lewin, comes short for the throw-in, but it's scruffy from the striker and it's given away to Fulham. Here's Mitrovic back on the field, not moving particularly freely, and he gives the ball away. And then he pulls the shirt of Idrissa Gueye. That's going to be an Everton free kick. Not nothing too difficult there for referee John Brooks. And no protests from Mitrovic himself. Here's Tarkovsky. Generally applying pressure as Everton go long again towards Anthony Gordon. It's Robinson who wins the header. It's going to be an Everton throw in inside the Fulham half. Most definitely looking to exploit that long ball this evening. Fulham, you spoke about their target man in Mitrovic. Everton have one of their own. Calvert-Lewin superb in the air, and here come Everton. Murray Gray into the box, low cross, and what a tremendous chance for the visitors. Dominic Calvert-Lewin made contact, but it just wasn't solid enough. The low cross came in from Damari Gray. Those piling into the box, I believe it was Calvert-Lewin and Anthony Gordon, didn't have much time to react. Such was the pace of the ball across goal by Gray. But Calvert-Lewin will be outraged that he's not stuck that into the back of the net. 3 yards out, the striker made contact, not solid enough. It would have been a certain goal. Bernd Leno in no man's land, but Fulham survive. Fantastic chance for Everton, their best of the game so far. 20 minutes gone at Craven Cottage. It's still Fulham 0, Everton 0. Here's Issa Diop looking to drive forward into the Everton half. Bobby Reid tackled by Damari Gray. Now Everton look to break. It's Calvert-Lewin, but it's a heavy touch. Only ricochets as far as Iwobi though. Here's Gray again on the left-hand side. Cuts inside on his right foot, tries the snapshot. That's straight at Bernd Leno. Not too much trouble for the German goalkeeper. Indeed, straight down his throat in the end. A couple of dangerous moments in the space of a minute from Damari Gray. It's his 13th Premier League appearance of the season. Nailed on regular under Frank Lampard. Only 1 goal to his name so far though. Everton of course lacking goals in general. Fulham have scored twice as many goals in the Premier League going into this fixture. 22 compared to Everton's 11. Mitrovic a large part of that of course. He's got 9 goals all on his own. Nobody on the pitch for the Toffees has got more than 3. Anthony Gordon. It's hit Reed for the home side. Alex Iwobi does look to be playing very advanced for Everton this evening. Only just off Calvert-Lewin, sometimes playing alongside the number 9. Fulham go long, up towards Mitrovic. Brings the ball under his spell with ease. Connor Cody, no match of physicality front as the ball in behind towards Pereira. There's not too much meat on it, but it's going to be an Everton goal kick.
First going on between him and Connor Cody, whatever was planned, wasn't executed. Played out from the pack last week against Palace and got a great goal.
To play it short, despite the fact they're looking to take advantage of long balls this evening. They are routinely going short from the goal kick, and Pickford playing with fire there, but he does manage to ping it out towards Vitaly Mikalenko. Seemed like something of an unnecessary risk for the Toffees there. Fulham wise to their game plan, surrounding the box. The linesman flags for a foul against Andreas Pereira. Segay takes it quickly, and Everton back underway. Here's Seamus Coleman. Now Anthony Gordon as Everton advance into the Fulham half. Alex Iwobi receives the ball to feet. Segay gets the ball tangled up, and referee John Brooks waits for a free kick that goes Everton's way. And he brandishes his first yellow card of the evening. It's against Alexander Mitrovic. Gay got the ball just stuck under his feet a little bit, and Mitrovic went over the top of the ball. To be quite a painful one for the Everton midfielder. It's a studs on shin situation. That's Mitrovic's fourth yellow card of the season. Still on the turf here at Gay as the referee, John Brooks, waves over the medics. Gay, of course, returned to Everton this summer. Sold to Paris Saint-Germain in 2019 for 30 million after his first spell at Goodison Park. Re-signed 3 years later, this summer, of course, for a fraction of the price. He is, of course, 3 years old, now 33 years old. A veteran in many senses of the word, just 100 appearances for the Senegalese national team. The African Cup of Nations with them this year. It remains to be seen whether this is going to be the end of his evening's work. He's back to his feet, Idrissa Gay. It was a nasty challenge by Mitrovic. Too many complaints. As he takes his place in the book, 25 minutes gone, South West London. It's still Fulham 0, Everton 0. Gay looks to be moving freely now. Slightly steps in the middle of the park and spreads the wide left. Stolen back by Fulham, back to Leno, who wants to clear it long towards Mitrovic. It lands at the feet of Mitrovic again. Here's Willian. He's got Coleman isolated. Overlapping on the left, crossed in, and it's almost an own goal by Everton. Connor Cody almost turned that low cross into his own net. It was great play by Fulham. Willian 1v1 on the left flank. Anthony Robinson did the perfect thing by overlapping. Absolutely free to send in the low left-footed cross. And it was a nightmarish ball for Cody to deal with. It's going to be a Fulham corner. In it goes towards the edge of the box. Pereira on the volley. An audacious training ground routine by the Cottagers. That's one of those where the stars have to align perfectly. Pinged ball out to Pereira on the edge of the box. Was on a sixpence. It was so difficult to control the volley from there. Pereira made good contact, but it went well wide of the post in the end. As referee John Brooks signals for a Fulham free kick inside the Everton half. Cody just got a bit too physical with Mitrovic there. Mitrovic really does fulfill the brief of a handful for any defender. Big physical striker, 6'2" tall, fantastic in the air, brilliant finisher, tenacious, hard-working. Free kicks locked into the box, but Everton clear the danger through Alex Iwobi. It's finally cleared again through James Tarkowski. A more definitive clearance this time, but Fulham moves the ball right back into Everton territory. The Timber continues as Everton come back at Fulham this time. Now they can take a breather as Connor Cody passes it square along his own box to Tarkowski. All the way back to Pickford now. He's under pressure. The Fulham forwards, and that pass is not on the money, and it goes out for a Fulham throw-in. Everton's attempts to pass around the back, not particularly successful so far this evening. Fulham have got the free kick, the throw-in I should say, in promising territory here, just to the side of Everton's box. But they do want to go backwards and maintain possession instead. They're now back in their own half with Isadil. Good pass to break the lines towards Cabano. Nikolenko boosts the ball out for another Fulham throw in, this time on the opposite flank, right hand side. Cabano and Bobby Reid attempt to forge a partnership. Most of the play has been going through Willian and Anthony Robinson on the left hand side, it has to be said. But here is Reid. He's crowded out by players in Everton yellow. The free kick goes against Idrissa Gueye. And it's Fulham with the set piece deep inside their own territory.
Robinson. On the American international by the Belgian man.
Now it's Everton's turn to pass it round the back. Goes back to Pickford. Thought about playing it short, but remembered what happened last time. Moved it up towards Nikolenko. Gets the flick on the Ukrainian, but Calvert-Lewin not there to meet it. Anthony Gordon trying the 1-2. This game still being played at a frantic pace. There was a hectic start. Something of a lull for 10 minutes, and now both teams going at it hammer and tongs yet again at Craven Cottage. Still 0-0 on Flash Score live, 30 minutes gone at Craven Cottage. Isadil looks to ping the ball long. Willian the intended target, but it's chested down by Mitrovic. Again, not challenged by Cody, in space. His pass is intercepted by the Toffees though. Fulham steal the ball back themselves. Here's Tim Reid. Now Pereira. Fulham approaching the Everton box with Willian. Such a technically gifted player, Willian. Very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Close control. Here's Anthony Robinson on the left. Looks for the early cross. Towards Cabano, takes it down, pulled back towards Mitrovic, and it's a good block. Made by James Tarkowski, high five from his Everton teammates, and no wonder. It took some doing, but Fulham managed to manufacture some space in the Everton box. With the good control, short pass to Mitrovic. It always looked a tall order to get the shot off. Goes out for a Fulham corner. Pereira again to take it. Plenty of Fulham corners this evening. In it goes, in swinging, danger area. Trickles out to the edge of the box. Harrison Reid with the effort. Bouncing around in there, but Pickford is able to gather the ball in. Took a deflection on the way through, but thankfully for the Everton keeper, not enough pace on the ball to really trouble him. Toffees come forward with Amadou Onana. Damari Gray. Got two Fulham defenders for company. Wants to go back to Nikolenko. Everton start again. Here's Iwobi. Coleman forced to go backwards. Fulham applying tactical pressure. Switch ball over to Damari Gray. Brilliantly found. Now he's 1v1. Tries the early cross. Takes a big nick off from Askins Cabano, and that's going to be an Everton corner. Very much a game of corner kicks in this first half. Neither team has proven particularly effective at dealing with them. Always cagey, hearts in mouth moments. There were several heavyweights up there for the Toffees. It's great to whip this one in swinging. Doesn't meet the first man, but it's bounced out only as far as Nikolenko. Played back to Nikolenko, who gets the early cross in that towards the far post. Hit on the volley is a good save by Bernd Leno. Connor Cody with the volley. He went a long time without scoring, famously so, Connor Cody. Not a particularly physically imposing central defender, but he's got something of an eye for goals since switching to Goodison Park. That's his name this season, and an assist from centre back as well. The volley was directed on target. It's never going to be Leno. the Fulham goalkeeper with the luxury of time to survey the options in front of him. Everton occasionally applying pressure, but not relentlessly. As Coleman clears the ball upfield. Fulham string some passes together. Pretty play by Marco Silva's side, and it's at the feet of Harrison Reed. They did well to wriggle themselves out of a corner there, Cottagers. The ball's won back by Everton. Good feet by Alex Iwobi. Played out wide to Damari Gray. It's good play by Iwobi, who is the informed man for Everton. The assist king this season. He's got 5 to his name, second only to Kevin De Bruyne, as Damari Gray whips in the cross. Cleared away by Fulham. The ball at the feet of Bobby, deckled over Reed. Now Willian, who's briefly switched flanks, may only be temporarily, with Nezkin Skobano currently in a central position. Here's Mitrovic, cuts in on his right foot, shooting chance for Mitrovic. Pickford dived, but it was blocked by one of the Everton centre-backs. Always a scary time when Mitrovic advances into a shooting position. Everton off the hook. Fulham still on the attack though, with Andreas Pereira twisting and turning. Puts Damari Gray on the deck. Fulham playing the slow game. Here's Willian. Staying on the right hand side of the Brazilian. It looks like Fulham have inverted their wingers. And the free kick goes against Amadou Onana. It's been a tough first 35 minutes for Onana. Everton's marquee signing this summer. 21 years old. Already a full Belgian international. Tips for a bright future. Still very much a raw talent. Everton fans have seen the best of him and the worst of him in the 11 Premier League games that he's played so far. He's really struggling to get into this one. Just 9 minutes of normal time to play until half time. In it goes for Fulham, headed away by Calvert-Lewin. Fulham come again. Pereira with the chance for an early cross. In it goes towards Tim Ream, and it's headed towards the far post, and it just drifts wide of the woodwork. Jordan Pickford was beaten. The Everton stopper didn't even bother diving to his right. If that had been on target, it would have been 1-0 to Fulham. As Everton protest at the referee. At the moment, unclear what the problem is from the Toffees players. Could be Bobby Reed asking the question for a penalty. There was a grapple in the box between him and James Tarkowski, but there's going to be nothing doing. VAR check has come and gone. Play goes on here at Craven Cottage. 37 minutes gone. Still Fulham 0, Everton 0. Here's Cody. Plays wide right to Seamus Coleman. Good hold and play by Calvert-Lewin. Looks for the 1-2 with Iwobi, but the return pass has just got too much on it. Now back at the feet of Iwobi. Plays a nice 1-2 with Gordon. Now finds Onana. Loose first touch from the summer signing, but does well to win the tackle back. Great tenacity from the big midfielder. Anthony Gordon looks to get the low cross in towards Calvert-Lewin. Controlled in the box, tries to play it wide left towards Damari Gray. Everton still have the ball, but all the impetus lost out of that particular attack. In it goes again, headed away by Fulham. Up towards Mitrovic. Shows great strength to hold off Connor Cody. Fulham have got space here. Andreas Pereira turns and fouled by James Tarkowski. It's going to be a Fulham free kick on the halfway line. So Fulham, as mentioned, the surprise packages this season. already in the top half of the league. Surprise to some, but not to everyone. They did blitz the Championship last season under Marco Silva, averaging well over 2 goals a game. 106 goals scored, 46 Championship outings. They very much seem to have carried that form with them into the Premier League as they lump it into the box, headed away by Everton. Here's Anthony Gordon, neat turn as Everton look to spring a break. Damari Gray wide left, on the halfway line, but he's got bodies rushing ahead of him. Switch ball to Iwobi's intercepted by Harrison Reed. And that's fantastic work by the midfielder. Wins possession back for his side. It was shaping up to be a promising Everton attack. Willian switches the play over to Mason Cabana. Good tackle by Mikalenko, but now it's Everton's turn to drive forward. Gray on the left has got Mikalenko overlapping, uses the Ukrainian. In it goes, Calvert-Lewin's in the box. Just beyond the striker, but it's going to be gathered in by Coleman. Early crossing chance, plays it to Iwobi instead. His low cross is blocked by Harrison Reed. It's going to be an Everton corner. Just 5 minutes to play until the interval. Fairly evenly matched affair here at Craven Cottage. Both sides have had their moments. Both have had their respective periods of being on top in this game.
One work corner this one. Tim Reed on the other end, centre half, getting his head there first.
It's going to be Alex Iwobi to take this one from the right hand side. An out swinger. Plays it short instead. Whipped into the box. Free header straight into the hands of Bernd Leno. Fantastic chance for the Toffees. It was a well-worked corner routine by Everton. Played short, back to Damari Gray. His cross was on the money. James Tarkowski completely unmarked in the centre of the box. He had virtually the freedom of the penalty area. He did divert the header on target, it was straight down the throat of Bernd Leno. Either corner, and that was causing the Fulham goalkeeper real problems. It remains 0-0. It's a Fulham throw-in on the halfway line. Out on the left, Anthony Robinson to take this one.
Always a very different prospect of Wilson.
Plays it short to Willian.
Football next week as they host Leicester. That's from 5 o'clock. A reminder that Super
Here's Diop driving into the Everton half. Played into the feet of Cabana. Lays it off to Bobby Reed. Crossing chance for Reed. It's blocked by Mikalenko. High five for the Ukrainian. That's gone out for a goal kick. So it's been a good half for Jordan Pickford with 3 minutes of it left to play. England fans will be keen to see him maintain this good form. Certainly the undisputed #1 heading into the World Cup. The Premier League breaks up to the tournament in just over 2 weeks' time. Everton on the attack now with Alex Iwobi. Wants to turn back, finds Onana. Big ball out wide to Anthony Gordon. Into the box, Gordon. Crossing chance, opts to take the shot instead. That one's fairly wayward over the top from Gordon. It wasn't a great strike on his left foot. Managed to take it round Bobby Reed with ease. Drove into the box. A fairly narrow angle. Tough one to beat Bernd Leno. Had to be something special. Failed to hit the target. Fulham play the goal kick short to Tim Reed. Here's Diop. 2 minutes to go until the interval. Which team, if any, can notch what would be a significant moment in this match? Played up towards Mitrovic. The ball just seems to stick to the Serbian whenever it's in his vicinity. Physically, it's quite clear that he's got the beating of Conor Cody this evening. Here's Andreas Pereira. Wide left to William. He's back on his favourite flank. After a brief spell on the right. Plays it out to the right-hand side where Bobby Reid takes it into a crossing position now, Reid. Cuts back. Plays to Harrison Reid. Now Cabana. Sliding tackle by Onana, but Cabano's still got the ball. Onana. A big tackle out wide and a pump of the chest. He's happy with his work. Out towards the Everton corner flag. He gestures towards the travelling Toffees to up the volume. Mikalenko with the throw now deep inside Everton territory. Fulham looking to sustain this attack to box the Toffees in. And indeed, it's going to be a Fulham throw. Bobby Reid looks for the options in front of him, but there's so many Everton yellow shirts. Eventually does find a teammate in William, but here's Everton, they can spring a fast break. Anthony Gordon looks to play in Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but there's way too much on that through pass. All the way through to Bernd Lennon. 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half at Craven Cottage. As Fulham fly forward with Anthony Robinson. Great pace from the USA international, tries the cut back to the edge of the box. It was the right idea from the left back, but there was no Fulham player waiting. Brilliant pace from the flying fullback. Giving Anthony Gordon and Seamus Coleman something to think about over on that Fulham's left-hand side. Here's Diop. 20 seconds until the interval. Perhaps one last chance for the Cottagers before Marco Silva and Frank Lampard deliver their half-time team talks. Both managers will be happy with certain aspects of their play. It's been a relatively even half, and that is the end of the half. John Brooks blows the whistle for the end of the first 45 minutes. An even contest at Craven Cottage. Both teams have had their chances. A pair of fantastic saves from Jordan Pickford has kept Everton level pegging. Everton have had a couple of good chances of their own. Calvert-Lewin with the best of them, about to turn in a cross from close range. Half time at Craven Cottage. Don't go anywhere in 15 minutes time. We've got 45 more minutes of live commentary action, live on Flash Report. Half time, Fulham 0, Everton 0.
Sure, you get a new phone for what? But is that always right for you? You can get an annual checkup on your current device designed to keep your phone in tip-top condition. Count on EE, the UK's best. exclusive benefits on PlayStation.
Welcome to Lidl. Where this big shop will cost you far less than Tesco. Where everything seems to be going up, we keep our prices Lidl. So you can save on family favourites and all the essentials. And grab big brands without breaking the bank. Switch from Tesco to Lidl and save over £31 on this big shop. Now that's good on quality and always Lidl on price.
Don't tell me this is all for nothing. I can only tell you all the nights we are our first ever combat SUV. Come on, my friend. Life comes at you fast. So what time for you? Time with Justin. I'm competitive free for all ends of the times. Factor 4 times. Angry on times. Quality times with the good times. The perfect times for McDonald's oven rolls. Great steak bakes. Crispy food desserts. Leo love burgers. And KFC oven buckets. So order now. Later. In a bit. Whenever. We got it.
It's someone saying just eat. Guys, at the end of the first half at Craven Cottage, but it's been a really entertaining half and we've plenty of things to do.
Great circumstances. All of this sort of storming. The experimentation and most of the stuff. This is where stones. It's safe. Yeah, he is. We've had that. So,
A very intriguing Premier League clash so far. Remains 0-0 at Craven Cottage. Both teams had their moments in the first half. Fulham forced Everton goalkeeper Jordan Pickford into a couple of fantastic saves. Dominic Calvert-Lewin will wish that he'd made better contact with a low Damari Gray cross. But surely given the Toffees the lead at Craven Cottage. It's Been an entertaining day of Premier League action on the whole. There's more to come even after this as Liverpool and Leeds face off to round off a bumper day of English top flight action. But there's 45 minutes of this one remaining on Flash Score. Fulham versus Everton. The hosts shooting right to left in this second half in their traditional white shirts, black shorts. Everton decked out in their away strip of all yellow. Plays underway in South West London. No changes at half time. As mentioned before kick-off, Frank Lampard unchanged side from the one that beat Crystal Palace. Marco Silva's made 2 Fulham changes from the win over Leeds as Willian goes down early in the second half. Big questions asked of referee John Brooks. Less than 1 minute on the clock in this second period as Willian goes to ground inside the penalty area. No particular decision one way or the other. Willian not penalised for diving, the penalty not given. Of course it will be looked at by the video assistant referee. He breezed past immediate drama. It's not uncharacteristic of this game. It's been an entertaining showdown so far. Fulham 8th in the table, looking to go 6th with a narrow win. Could go 5th with a big win of 2 goals or more. Everton start the day pre-kick-off, I should say, in 13th position. The win would take them level on points with bitter rivals Liverpool at 10th spot, which will take them 12th. Here's Anthony Robinson for Fulham now. He's got Willian to the outside of him, but they're boxed in by Everton defenders. Still fantastic stuff from the Brazilian. Looks to get into a crossing position, goes back to Andreas Pereira. Early crossing towards Mitrovic, gets the header just over the top of the bar from the Fulham striker. Pickford scrambling. So often on the money from that kind of distance, Mitrovic. It was by no means a simple header to control under pressure from James Tarkowski. Pereira whips the cross in towards Mitrovic, just about off target. So 2 fairly big moments for the Cottagers, just 3 minutes into this second half. They had their moments in the first half too. Pickford was required to pour Mitrovic's header over the top in the first period at full stretch. And it was a sensational reflex save to deny Willian from close range. Just proved that he's going to take some beating, the 28-year-old, as is often the case. Pickford has been one of Everton's best players, one of their most trusted performers for some time now. He was nothing short of heroic in last season's relegation battle, surviving by 3 points in the end as Iwobi tried to play in Calvert-Lewin. Didn't quite execute the pass. The ball back at his feet at Iwobi though, and it's a big switch over to Damari Gray. Fantastic ball, but he's been flagged for offside. Signs of frustration from the winger. Just strayed beyond the last line of defence. Bargain signing for the Toffees. Damari Gray, less than £2 million in 2021 when they nabbed him from Bayer Leverkusen. He's a player who's been a big name for some time, big things expected of him. After a sparkling youth career, broke through with Birmingham City at a very young age. He clearly has the talent to dazzle at this level when he's on his day. Yet in this game though, Anthony Robinson driving forward. It's been a great performance from the American so far. His low cross looks for Mitrovic but doesn't quite reach him. Dealt with by Everton. It's going to be a Fulham throw. Deep inside the Everton half. Robinson to take it, adjacent to the Everton box. Controlled by Mitrovic. Tackled by Onana, and he's dragged down by the Fulham forward. Got to be somewhat careful, Mitrovic. He's already on a yellow card. But Everton not thinking about that as they're on the break. Here's Anthony Gordon. Low crossing opportunity. Not quite into the path of Calvert-Lewin. Fulham now with the opportunity to take the ball away. Cabano, boxed in by 3 Everton players, does fantastically well to wriggle out of that situation. It's spread out to the opposite flank where Willian takes the ball in his stride. Willian plays it central to Pereira. Back to Willian now, he's got Seamus Coleman for company. Cuts in on his right foot. Willian with the curler, well saved by Jordan Pickford. It's the second time Willian's forced Pickford into a good save this evening. The Brazilian had Coleman isolated 1 versus 1. A pair of Premier League veterans going head to head. Coleman 34 years of age, Willian also 34. And it was the Brazilian who came out on top that time. His curling effort was destined for the far corner. Pickford palmed it away. Here's Anthony Robinson. Fulham still camped out in the Everton half. Back at the feet of Robinson, plays it early. Here's Mitrovic on the edge of the box. Square towards Bobby Reid. He's got his work cut out to meet it, but he does so. Here's Cabano now, into the Everton box. Looking for the cross. It's well blocked by Mikalenko. It's been a very solid defensive performance from the left back. Not the first time he's received high fives from teammates this evening. Corner from the right hand side. Pereira to take it for Fulham. In it goes. Doesn't meet the first man. Anthony Gordon heads it away. Headed back into the danger area. Pickford gratefully gathers the ball in. Not looking for the fast break, instead looking for a breather. It's been all Fulham in the first 8 minutes of this second half. Clearly an effective team talk delivered by former Everton boss Marco Silva. Surely so desperate to notch a win, not just for his own side's prospects, to prove a point against his former employers. Everton looking to go forward here. It's knocked over the top towards Mikalenko, but it's got too much on it. And that goes out for a Fulham goal kick. So a win tonight would be highly important for Fulham. They've got a tricky run before the World Cup. Next up, Manchester City away. After that, Manchester United at home. This one they'll feel is a very winnable tie. 3 more points on the board before that daunting run of fixtures would of course be welcomed. As Everton look to go forward with Amadou Onana, but Joao Palhinha gets the foot in. It's going to be an Everton throw-in just to the side of the Fulham box. Mikalenko to take it on the left flank. It's got Calvert-Lewin for company. The striker comes short. Played back to Onana, pings the ball in early doors. Fantastic pass to Anthony Gordon out on the other flank, but the winger's first touch lets him down. Fulham are able to clear the ball away. A potential fast break opportunity for the Cottagers. Great pass by Pereira into the feet of Mitrovic, but Serbian striker's pass nowhere near any of his teammates. He's back with Everton. Here's Connor Cody. Into the feet of Iwobi, but he's crowded out by Fulham players. Dinked round the corner to Palinha. Sloppy play from both sides, really, and it's Everton who've got to throw in inside their own territory. Idrissa Gueye goes back to James Tarkowski. Tarkowski again into the feet of Damari Gray. Tackled from behind by Bobby Reid and referee John Brooks. No hesitation in going for the free kick, just beyond the halfway line. Everton with an opportunity to lump this one into the box. And they play it forward early to Calvert-Lewin. No linesman's flag at the moment, but he's just about lost the momentum in the attack, takes the shot. And he's way over the bar. He'll be hugely disappointed to not test Bernd Leno from that one. They took the free kick early. Calvert-Lewin made the darting running behind the defence. Fulham tried to play the offside trap to no avail. Although replays show that Calvert-Lewin did just about mistime his run. A fraction too early. It's still not a particularly positive sign that spurred a potential one-on-one opportunity against Bernd Leno. So the ball back with Fulham now. Throw in just beyond the halfway line. Anthony Robinson to take it on the left flank. It's the chest of Mitrovic. Strikers play just taking a dip in the last few minutes. Right got the magic touch in the second half. He gives the ball away, and it's Everton who drive towards the Fulham half with James Tarkowski. Played wide left to Mikalenko. Knocks it through the legs of Bobby Reid. He's got an opportunity to run now, Mikalenko. And the referee pulls it back for a free kick. That's a yellow card for Bobby Reid. He's judged to have pulled the shirt of Mikalenko, the Ukrainian. Threatening to break away. In fact, he pulled the shorts of Mikalenko. That's 5 yellow cards for the season for Bobby Reid. He's going to miss the next clash at Manchester City, which Marco Silva will need his best recruits. Breaks to Onana in the box, takes the snapshot, and it flashes wide of the goal. It all happened in a flash. The free kick into the box, knocked down by Tarkowski. One touch from Onana, hit it on the spin, and he couldn't quite direct it on target. Approaching the hour mark of Craven Cottage, live on Flashscore, it remains Fulham 0, Everton 0. Tarkowski with the big header forward to Calvert-Lewin. Again, his holder play just about lets him down. The layoff pass. Couldn't quite find Alex Iwobi. Back with Everton inside their own territory. Seamus Coleman to take the throw in. Amadou Onana spreads the play over to the left hand side. Here's Tarkowski. Pings the ball forward, Tarkowski. Anthony Gordon making a break for it on the right hand side, but it's gobbled up by Bernd Leno. He wastes no time rolling the ball to Anthony Gordon. They have a numerical advantage on the left flank at the moment for them. Anthony Gordon drives forward, plays the cross into Mitrovic, headed into the path of Pereira. Mitrovic on the volley, struck well, but it's well wide of Jordan Pickford's goal. Another threatening pattern of play for the home side. Anthony Robinson at the heart of all things good for the Cottagers. Mitrovic tried the layoff first time. So the ball bounced back to him on the volley. Caught every bit of it, but didn't quite get the direction that he needed to ask any questions of Jordan Pickford. Very much a shoot on sight kind of player, Mitrovic, especially in this match. That was his 7th effort of the game. Quintessential danger man for the hosts, in amongst the goals this season. And it looks like Everton boss Frank Lampard is preparing to make his first change of the evening. Nathan Patterson getting stripped down and ready on the touchline as a big tackle flies in from Joao Paulinho, and that sets Fulham up for a fast break. Here's Bobby Reed, 4 versus 5. Cabana on the right hand side, his cross is blocked by Mikalenko. How many times have we said that this evening? Mikalenko alert to the danger, closing down the space, stopping the crosses coming in. Frank Lampard will be absolutely delighted with his defensive work. Bobby Reed with the cross. In it goes towards Willian. Now Mitrovic with a fantastic chance, and he blazes it over the top of the bar. He can scarcely believe it, the former Newcastle striker. The cross went in from Bobby Reed, headed down by Willian. Set up really invitingly for Mitrovic to strike on the half volley. A lack of composure sent that one flying well clear of the bar in the end, 12, 13 yards out. Big chance for Fulham, but it remains 0-0 at Craven Cottage.
So far, so good.
Tarkowski and Mitrovic coming shoulder to shoulder. Referee John Brooks blows for an Everton free kick inside their own half.
Manchester United midfielder as well will come into the edge of the some creativity.
So Everton looking to improve on last season's troubled campaign. They ended up finishing just 4 points clear of relegation. One of 6 teams in Premier League history since its inception in the early 1990s, never to be relegated on the top flight. There were fears that last season could be the season. It's a roller coaster campaign, and they just couldn't quite get things going. They managed to just in the nick of time under Frank Lampard. Amadou Onana tries to play the ball in behind to Calvert-Lewin. Intercepted by Fulham. Here's Pereira, taken down by Onana. It's going to be a Fulham free kick. Pereira writhing in pain on the turf. John Brooks is going to show Onana a yellow card. Certainly looks to be a painful one. Indeed, it was studs on top of the foot from Onana. Anyone who's played football will know that that is a painful one suffered by Pereira. This will lead to a serious injury, but will take a couple of minutes to get back to his feet. As Everton make their first change of the evening, Nathan Patterson. On at right back, Seamus Coleman, the players that made way. No major surprises there. A lot of Fulham's attack have come down the left-hand side. Coleman, 34 years old, not quite with the legs that he used to have. Patterson's going to try and keep up with Anthony Robinson. Willian for the closing half an hour or so of this game. Another change also for Everton as Idrissa Gueye comes off. He's replaced by former Manchester United youngster James Garner. So a good chance for Garner to impress in the closing stages of this game. He's not had too many opportunities since arriving this summer. Fulham take the free kick short. Crossing position for Cabana. Cuts back onto his left foot. Twisting and turning against Anthony Gordon. Makes the space. Tries the low cross. Batted away by Jordan Pickford. Harrison Reed on the edge, but his pass is intercepted. Back at the feet of Fulham now. It's Anthony Robinson. Calmly lays it back to Tim Ream. They can recycle possession, survey their options, and start another attack. 65 minutes gone at Craven Cottage, still 0-0. It's found Mitrovic in the box, chested down. Connor Cody was alert to the danger. Got a crucial tackle in. Here's William. And Fulham still on the attack, deep inside the Everton half. Play to Anthony Robinson. Crossed in towards Cabano. Here's Mitrovic. Lays off towards Harrison Reed on the edge of the box. Struck well but blocked by Everton. And Amadou Onana just about manages to get the ball away. John Brooks blows for a Fulham free kick by the looks of it, just on the halfway line. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the guilty party, is looking to hold the ball up. Didn't manage to do so without fouling his man, and it's going to be another opportunity for the Cottagers to manufacture something. Pereira plays it short, trying to catch Everton off guard, and he's got space to play with. Ring Grant to run into Pereira. Goes left to William. William, early cross into the danger area, headed away by Everton. Edge of the box. Still with Fulham, Bobby Reed strike is blocked. And Everton live to fight another day. Fulham really turning the screw against the Toffees. Frank Lampard's side holding out so far. It's Fulham that are going to make the next change. Maskins Cabano's going to make way on the right flank. He's going to be replaced by Harry Wilson. Some did expect Wilson to start this evening. He was in place from the off in the 3-2 win over Leeds last time out. Instead, Cabano chosen, but Wilson's going to get his opportunity here. 23 minutes of normal time remaining. Former product, the Liverpool Youth Academy. How he would love to get one over on their bitter rivals, Everton. Spent no less than 17 years on Liverpool's books, Harry Wilson. Only 2 senior appearances for the club. A lot of loan spells away. As Fulham come forward again with William, tries to get the cross in. Well blocked by Nathan Patterson. He's been given a baptism of fire since emerging from the bench. Former Rangers fullback, signed in January this year. He's acquitted himself well this season, Patterson. He's got a tough assignment this evening. Robinson and William well up for him at Craven Cottage. Going to be a Fulham corner, whipped in by William this time, but he opts to take it short. To Pereira, gets the early cross in, headed away by Everton. No fast break for the Toffees though, as Fulham find the ball back at their feet. William again on the left-hand side. Wilson on his right, feeds Pereira, isolated against Patterson. Tries to play into the channel where William was making a good run, but Patterson, another good piece of defending. 21 years of age, Patterson, but clearly able to hold his own from Premier League level. Hadn't played a whole lot of senior football by the time Everton picked him up earlier this year. Struggled to get in the Rangers team. James Tavernier laying claim to that right back spot at Ibrox. Here's Palhinha for Fulham. Big switch over to the substitute Harry Wilson. Headed down to Harrison Reed. That's Bobby Reed drifting inside, but he's in trouble here. Everton get the foot in and they look to launch the fast break, but Onana's pass is a flat one. Here's Pereira. Pereira twisting and turning. It's a good tackle by James Garner and Everton. On the break. Played through to Calvert-Lewin. No flag at the moment. It looks like this is going to go into the net, but surely the flag is going to go up. And it does indeed against Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think everyone in the ground and on both sides knew that Dominic Calvert-Lewin had just timed his run a little bit too early. Indeed, he was a yard or so beyond Issa Diop when Alex Iwobi played him in behind. Lennon made the initial save. Calvert-Lewin tucked in the rebound, but there was no real belief that was truly going to be Everton 1, Fulham 0. It remains goalless in West London. 70 minutes on the clock, live on Flash Score. 20 minutes remaining in this mouth-watering Premier League encounter. 0-0 certainly doesn't do the game justice. It's been an entertaining affair. Brilliant chances for both sides. But Everton just struggling in this second half. Struggling to impose themselves. Here's Mitrovic. Good hold-up play against Damari Gray. Pings it into the box. Harry Wilson tried to head it onto a teammate, but there was no one there. It's called by Jordan Pickford. Everton play short under no real pressure from the Cottagers. James Tarkowski literally bringing the ball out at a walking pace. Here's Cody. Patterson plays it inside to Onana. Big pass into the feet of Alex Iwobi. Still got the ball before the Arsenal youth product. His final pass really lets him down there, Iwobi. It's a simple ball out wide. Too much on it. It's a Fulham throw inside the own half. Everton nick the ball back. Pounce on a loose pass, but Willian is in there to clear up the danger. Great work by Willian, and that's going to be a Fulham goal kick. So Everton relatively comfortable in mid-table at the moment. Frank Lampard has had his fair share of doubters as a manager. He's had spells at Derby County, Chelsea. Totally convinced with either side, and the same can be said of his time at Everton so far. He's got some of the doubters off his back with Everton in no immediate threat of a relegation battle. Still just 3 wins from 12 to kick off today. Perhaps more concerningly, they're scoring at a rate of less than 1 goal per game. Drawing another blank so far at Craven Cottage as Harry Wilson gets the early ball in. Cleared away by Tarkowski. Drops to Palinha. Bobby Reid. Closed down by Anthony Gordon. And now this is a good opportunity for Everton to break. Gordon in plenty of space. It's 4 versus 3 if Everton play their cards right. And it's another slack pass from Anthony Gordon. It's not been a good night for the Everton winger. He's tackled by Issa Diop. And the ball's back with Fulham. Tremendous chance for Everton to at least work a shot on goal. Gordon's had a tough time this evening. So often has been Everton's danger man this season. Started off as their orthodox striker, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, spending a long time out with injury. It's 24 games since the start of last season, Calvert-Lewin. Gordon did start the season amongst the goals. They've dropped off just a little bit recently. Here is Gordon now. Has the ball on the left-hand side. Tries to cut back towards Amadou Onana. Here's Cody. All Everton players inside the Fulham half. They're taking their time, looking for the opportunity to break the lines, the Toffees. Mikalenko now spies the ball in behind to Garner. It's well played, taken down by Garner. Looks for the early cross, but it's straight into the hands of Bernd Leno. The flag went up against Garner anyway. It's going to be another roll of the dice by Everton boss Frank Lampard. Damari Gray's work is done. 75 minutes at Craven Cottage. Not a bad night's work by Damari Gray. Have looked lively in periods. His cross really should have been turned in by Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the first half. He's going to make way for Dwight McNeil. Grabbed a couple of goals himself recently, McNeil, a Burnley star. Not just that, there's also going to be 2 changes for the hosts. Bobby Reid, the first to make way Kenny Tete is going to come on and take his place. That looks like a straight swap, right back from right back. Andreas Pereira, who has been a live wire for the Cottagers, his evening's over. Tom Kearney, Fulham veteran, he drops onto the field. He's got just over 14 minutes of normal time to stamp his authority on this Premier League matchup. Play back underway now with Tim Ream. Back at the feet of Ream now as Everton trying to close down and get their reward as the ball's played inadvertently into the feet of Amadou Onana. Here's Dwight McNeil, his first chance to isolate Kenny Tete on the left flank. Substitute versus substitute. Now for an Everton throw-in. It's back in play now with Amadou Onana. Takes the ball on the half-turn. Good feet from the big man. Plays it to James Garner. Across to Iwobi. Now out wide to Nathan Patterson. Takes it inside Anthony Robinson. Good ball down the channel to Anthony Gordon. A bit too much on it. The Everton youth product unable to latch on to the end of that one. It was the right idea from the Toffees. Everton had a slightly easier schedule than Fulham leading up to the World Cup. As mentioned, facing City away, followed by United at home. Immediately preceding the World Cup break for Everton, it's a double-header with Bournemouth, both away from home. The EFL Cup, the other in the Premier League. Lampard will be eyeing up 2 wins from those. Fulham on the attack here with Harry Wilson. Cuts in on his left foot. Play to Kearney on the centre of the box with a shooting chance. It takes a big nick of James Tarkowski and trickles out for a corner. Another brief-sighted goal for Fulham. As soon as Kearney spied the shooting chance, he was crowded out by yellow shirts. 78 minutes gone at Craven Cottage. It's still Fulham 0, Everton 0. This the Cottagers' 11th corner of the evening. In it goes from William. Tough one for Pickford to deal with. And it goes over the top for another Fulham corner. Aiming to make it 3 wins on the spin here, Fulham. Very much the informed side heading into this clash. Everton by no means in terrible form, but Cottagers really on a roll. 11.5 minutes to make something happen at home. In it goes from William to the back post. Headed back across by Mitrovic, dealt with by Everton, but Harrison Reed collects it on the edge of the box. Fired in to the crowd of players. It arrives at an Everton foot. Anthony Gordon, brilliant challenge made by Issa Diop. Gordon on the turf. Ball won fairly. Here's Tom Kearney. Cuts inside, into the box. William's in good space. Here's William on his right foot, shoots, and it's saved by Jordan Pickford. A fist-pumping celebration from the Everton goalkeeper. It's another good chance for the home side. William's effort didn't quite have enough direction on it. Too central to threaten Jordan Pickford. The goalkeeper got down low to stop the danger. Fulham on the attack yet again. Anthony Robinson flying forward. Cross towards Mitrovic. Poor control let him down. Yet another good chance for the Cottagers. Goes a begging. Marco Silva will be furious if his side leave with anything less than 3 points. Anthony Robinson racing down the left-hand side. It's a simple ball for Mitrovic to control. He's given him the opportunity to shoot from the edge of the box. Just about slid under his foot. Here's Tim Ream, knocks the ball upfield to Mitrovic, bounces off his chest, next. Looking for the free kick against Monacodi, but John Brooks says nothing doing. Play on. Back with Everton. Here's Tarkowski. Now Armando, who's gradually grown into this game. Quite the first half an hour. He's really not afraid to take the ball in tight spaces. Drive Everton on the pitch. Here's Tarkowski. Probably not many options ahead of him. Has to go all the way back to Pickford. He's hovering just on the edge of his own penalty area. Everton inviting Fulham onto them, but the Cottagers not really taking the cue to apply pressure. Until now, loose touch from Pickford. Mitrovic closes down and he's pinged that one out for a throw-in. Fulham get their reward for triggering the press at the right time. Throwing just beyond the halfway line. So it's taken by Anthony Robinson. 8.5 minutes left of time at Craven Cottage. It's still Fulham 0, Everton 0. 10 minutes to go live on Flash Score. And to be seen if there's a winner in this Premier League clash. Here's Diop. Hasn't acquitted himself well in this match. Tossing Adrabaya, the normal starter for Marco Silva. He drops to the bench this evening. Anthony Robinson is let loose on the left-hand side, crossed in towards Mitrovic. James Tarkowski puts in a brave, courageous header to get there in front of the Serbian striker. A smile from Tarkowski as if to say he loves the battle. As he wins this one, out he goes for a Fulham corner. Mitrovic has had a few poor moments, but he's still proving tough to deal with. In it goes from Willian. Doesn't beat the first man. It's still going to be a Fulham throw in a dangerous position. Willian plays it back to the edge of the box. Crossed in. Now headed away. Here's Tom Kearney. Anthony Robinson sees the space ahead of Anthony Gordon, drives into it, laying it back to Harry Wilson. Here's Willian now. Turns Anthony Gordon, all ends up. Good position for Willian, chops inside in the box. Low cross, a fantastic chance for Fulham. But what a block in there by James Garner, it looks like. A crucial touch by the Everton substitute. Issa Diop set to have what looked to be an easy finish from about 10 yards out. Willian did everything perfectly for the Chelsea winger, causing all kinds of problems on the left-hand side. Back with Fulham, here's Tim Reed. Everton now applying pressure from the front. Anthony Robinson. All the way back to Leno. Green again. Won't be fazed by this kind of situation. Tim Reed, 35 years of age. He is a veteran of the Premier League. 300 appearances for Fulham. Forward it goes by the Cottagers. It finds Willian on the left flank. Panic stations for Everton. Patterson isolated. Good 1-2 by Willian. Shooting chance on the edge of the box. Instead they bide their time. In it goes from Kearney towards Mitrovic. Wilson goes to get it at the far post. But a good touch by Mikalenko takes it away. Another big block by Mikalenko, but it's gone out for a Fulham corner. It's all the Cottagers in the closing stages of this match. 5 minutes of normal time to go, plus a fair chunk of added time on top of that. It's going to be an in-swinger on the right-hand side. In it comes. Danger area. Pickford just about pulls it away. Only as far as Tim Reed. Harrison Reed has it now on the edge of the box. Here's Reed. Lumps it in. Mitrovic waiting at the far post. Heads towards goal. Never had enough pace on the cross to threaten from that kind of distance. That's going to be an Everton goal kick. Replay's filter in of that fantastic Fulham chance. Willian twisting and turning, laying it back to Issa Diop, and it was James Garner who got that all-important touch. With 4 minutes left on the clock, it's going to be another Everton change. Anthony Gordon makes way. It's not been his evening at Craven Cottage. Very little joy. One of Everton's star players. Neil Maupay is going to come on and take his place. Presumably he'll forge a strike partnership with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who remains on the field. Everton go all the way back to Pickford. Keeper taking no chances. Pings that one long out towards right and Neil, but there's too much on it. Fulham retain possession for a throw-in inside their own territory. London hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Everton recently and in the past. Failed to win any of their last 8 away trips in the capital. As Harry Wilson looked to break away down the right flank, but it's been pulled back. The linesman flagged for the free kick against Mikalenko. Against Wilson, I should say. Major protest from Fulham about that one. Looked to be a soft decision. It's going to be an Everton free kick, 15 yards or so short of the halfway line. And Everton, as mentioned, looking for a rare away win in the capital. Failed to win any of their last 8. Indeed, they've lost more away matches in London than any other Premier League side. All looks forward to Calvert-Lewin. Ricochets out to Patterson. Here's Iwobi. Onana sitting back, waiting to mop up the danger, trying to recycle possession. It's back at the feet of Onana. Plays forward to Calvert-Lewin, who nicks it round the corner to Maupay, but it's a poor first touch by the substitute. Allows Fulham to get a foot in. But Everton once again in possession. He plays it back to Pickford. Launched forward towards Maupay. Doesn't win the ball against 6'4" Diop. Willian goes down under the challenge from Onana. That's going to be a Fulham free kick just shy of the halfway line. Less than 2 minutes of normal time to play. Still Fulham 0, Everton 0. Cottagers have absolutely dominated the second half. If truth be told, they had the best chances in the first half too. Difference particularly stark in the second 45 minutes. Fulham 12 attempts, Everton just 1. 0 on target for the Toffees. It's Fulham that come forward again. 1 minute remaining of normal time. Here's Tom Kearney. Looks to get the cross in, doesn't beat the first man. Bounces out to Joao Paulinho on the edge of the box, but he can't bring it under control. Scrappy in the middle of the park. It's a fantastic challenge by substitute Kenny Tete. And the ball's back with Fulham. Here's Harry Wilson now. He's got support with it. The ball arrives at the feet of Harrison Reed. Fulham forced to slow things down somewhat. And go wide left to Anthony Robinson. Now Kearney. Fulham well advanced inside the Everton half. Here's Anthony Robinson. Lays the ball off. Kenny Tete tries to get the cross into Mitrovic. Hits it on the volley. Nowhere near the target. 14 yards out for the clinical Serbian striker, but he's not been clinical this evening. That one by no means easy. Mitrovic hit that one just as he was slightly off balance. That his 10th effort of the game, Mitrovic. That's the most of any player in the Premier League in a single game this season. None of which has found the net. Fulham boss Marco Silva will wonder quite how that's happened. 3 minutes of added time at Craven Cottage. We've played half of 1 minute already. Everton come forward here with Neil Mulcahy. Good foot in by Tim Reeve, and they have the opportunity to clear away, but they don't do so. Tim Reeve tries a short pass. Again, dying embers. Goes out for an Everton throw. Taken quickly by the Toffees. All the way back to Jordan Pickford. Launched forward by the keeper. Intercepted by William. If Fulham play their cards right, they could have numbers forward here. Here's Mitrovic. Approaching the Everton box. Tries to cut back on his right foot. Played it to the edge where Joao Paulinho crosses into the far post. Harry Wilson can't bring it under control. Drifts all the way through for an Everton goal kick. Signs of frustration from those in black and white. Further signs of frustration from Marco Silva on the touchline. He'll be frustrated at his side. Haven't earned 3 points if it stays like this at the final whistle. Lampard presumably happier with the point. Just over 1 minute of stoppage time remaining. It's Fulham who have the ball. A throw in on the left hand side, just on the halfway line. Marco Silva hoping they can fashion one last opportunity. It's a fantastic switch over to Harry Wilson. Plays it down to Harrison Reed, but there's too much on the pass. And it's gobbled up by Jordan Pickford. That was a promising opportunity for the hosts. Acres of space for Harry Wilson to pick his pass. Didn't pick the right one in the end. Jordan Pickford again launches the ball forward. Calvert-Lewin's up there. Tim Reeve wins the header. The ball finds its way to Alex Iwobi. Pinged in towards Calvert-Lewin, chested down to James Garner. And the flag's gone up against Calvert-Lewin. And that could be all she wrote at Craven Cottage. Time ticking down now towards the 3 allotted minutes. Tim Reeve pings the ball forward, chested down by Cody. And the referee John Brooks blows the final whistle. That's the end of the Premier League clash at Craven Cottage. Goalless for both sides. Marco Silva will be hugely frustrated that his Fulham side didn't manage to put a goal on the board. They had plenty of chances. Willian played superbly, couldn't quite put his name on the score sheet. Mitrovic made a nuisance of himself, had so many chances, couldn't convert any of them. Everton's best chance fell to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, exactly who they wanted to fall to in the first half. He couldn't turn in Amari Gray's low cross.
And Roberto deservedly got their first win. It came at the expense of Graham Potter's Chelsea, and that is Graham Potter's first defeat as Chelsea manager. Crystal Palace beat Southampton 1-0. Leicester beaten 1-0 at home by Manchester City in the early kick-off, and Newcastle 4-0 winners against them. It's supposed to see the goals is on the Sky Sports app. That was the QR code to get there. Fulham with a point in 7th place in the table, and they stay 1 point off the top 6. Everton stay in the bottom half of the table. They're in 12th place with 14 points so far.